Hello, it is I, Raven J, aka Deaf Shell 2. How is the world today? I mean, other than the absolute fucking chaos that is the reality that we're all living in. Other than that, how is everything? Um, I don't know if there's anybody watching. I don't think there is. Um, but if you are, hello. I haven't been on in a while. And over the course of actually the last few years, I'm really not on YouTube at all that much. I did a host um, stint on the goddamn podcast. That was fun. I would like to do that again. It got weird because for me, because the way they were producing the show changed, and they no longer had video of the host of the speakers. Um, which I mean, I don't need to see myself on camera. I go every single day without seeing myself on camera. Um, but I thought it was important because of who I am, that the viewers could see me, um, just so I wasn't constantly being referred to as a guy or a man because I have this wonderful voice that I have. It sounds like an old woman who's been smoking for 60 years. But what's up there, GA5524? How are you? So yeah, there was the goddamn podcast. I did that for a while, and like I said, until they changed the way they produced the show, and then it just felt weird being on there, considering nobody could see me; they could only hear me, and that was just uncomfortable for me. Um, Peach is doing well. She's actually taking one of the boys to a doctor's appointment, so I'm kind of home alone. Um, yeah, I am home alone for the next about what hour and 10, 15 minutes or so. So it's either I do this or masturbate, I guess. I decided to do this. Um, so I did not work today. I had two doctor's appointments this morning myself. So it was one was an endocrinologist to talk about my hormones and all that kind of stuff, and the other one was the plastic surgeon who did my boobs. And everything there looks good, so that was cool. But yeah, because of that, I didn't go to work. So I did nothing other than that. Like I got nothing accomplished. Um, that's cool. Sometimes it's good to get nothing accomplished, I guess. What else? Um, oh, I did the host on goddamn podcast for a while. Like I said, that was fun. Also, occasionally, very rarely, every now and then, I pop on and I do a stream. It's usually at night. I haven't done a daytime stream in holy crap many years. I used to stream during the day all the time. Back in the blog TV days, I would stream for hours and hours. I used to do 22-hour blogs. I think the only person on the internet who did more live streaming than me was probably Richard Coughlin. Um, but yeah, I did a lot, a lot of streaming back then. But now, between work and the kids, um, transition and wanting to avoid the camera, I spend a lot of time wanting to avoid the camera. Um, hey, what's up there? Just Troy. Um, yeah, I avoiding the camera. And then just the world that we live in today, being trans, it just lately feels like a target. Um, and that's stupid, and it shouldn't be that way. But the whole world took stupid pills, and that's where we are, I guess. I don't know. So because of that, and because just YouTube had become such a volatile place, I stopped making videos and live streaming as much as I would like to. And then I got used to not doing it. I mean, after a while, it was just like, you know what I mean? So today, like I said, it was either this or masturbate. Um, and, I'm looking pretty good today. I said, I don't want that to go to waste, so let's go on camera. I looked at me and I said, oh, you're cute. So I feel pretty, oh so pretty. And why not? Why not stream for about an hour or so? So hi. I don't know. What else? I used to really I knew what to say. I used to just get on camera and I could just roll with it. Like I knew what to say. I didn't have to think about it a whole lot, and I didn't need like a guest host or co-host, and I could just go, and I would talk for hours and hours, and usually about Christians, usually about believers, um, going after low-hanging fruit and stuff, But that got boring. That got so boring. And now it's like I get on camera and I'm like, I don't know what the fuck to say. And I am not popular enough, and I am not pretty enough to have people want to watch and just throw questions and stuff out at me. I know, like, if Peach were to broadcast, most likely it would be full of guys, all asking questions and giving her compliments for like an hour, and she doesn't even have to say anything. Like, I've seen it happen. That's not me. That's never been me. I'm an old lady. I am an old lady with an old man's voice. So, and I'm eating jelly beans because you know what? Fuck it. No, I mean, oh man, and this chair hurts my back. Like, if I move back into the chair, it sinks in, like it just dips. So I drop and it hurts my back. So it's either I sit all the way back and lean back, which is difficult to do stuff on the computer that way, or I do get up on the edge of the seat. And then I'm like right up on the camera, like I'm attacking everybody. Ah, it's Attack of the Trans. Yeah. So I end up just sitting here leaning forward, and it hurts my back. I need a good chair. Oh well. So what else is going on? I mean, there's like not much going on out in the world today. Everything is so quiet, There's nobody fucking watching. Oh my God. I suck. Wow. You guys, if anybody is watching, you could just kind of watch me scroll on my phone for a while. I'm not doing anything else. Holy shit. So if anybody is interested or I watched Daredevil Born Again last night. The first 2 episodes. Really jazzed about that. That was really good. I mean, the whole build up to the show. I haven't been that excited about a TV show since Star Trek: The Next Generation, way back in 1902, whenever the fuck it was. So that was pretty cool, and I enjoyed it. It was good. There's some of the cinematography, some of the the camera shots and stuff are a little questionable. There's some weird jumpy stuff that they were doing. Um, but whatever. I mean, those are artistic choices, I guess. Um, Not bad, I guess. Just not really my thing. I guess, a little bit more straightforward I would think I would have liked better, I guess. But it doesn't matter. They're not making it for me. Um, I really enjoyed it. I'm not going to give any spoilers. Like, my spoiler-free review of Daredevil is, oh no, holy shit, oh my god, no way, get the fuck out, nailed it. That's my review. It was good. I liked it. What else? What else? Yeah, I mean, out in the world, there's like nothing happening. It's so quiet and dull. Nothing to really talk about. Nothing except for, we're now the bad guys, I guess. I mean, I don't want to say that we've always been bad guys. I mean, we're not perfect. We've never been a perfect country. We've always made missteps, some of them on purpose. Um, Always. There's always been something. There's always been some group that we were unfair to, or some country that we screwed over. Always from the beginning. It's always been. Um, and not to make excuses for that, but it's more of, it's a rough world. And every country on the planet has had to do things that they didn't want to do or that they regret, um, and have made wrong decisions or bad decisions. That doesn't make us, this awful, terrible place, as some people often like to say. It drives me crazy. All these people are just like, oh, I hate this country. Oh, they're so evil. But this most recent thing, the aligning ourselves with the goals of Putin, and the Kremlin, that's a problem. That's a problem. Globally, that's a problem. That's a problem with what I always believed our country to stand for, what our values were. Um, that's a problem. I mean, if this were the old days, I'd be standing up against, a bright red brick wall behind me, cinder block wall, um, shaking my fists at the camera, shouting and smoking. Um, that's not me anymore. But I could imagine how it would have went. Um, that was back when people actually watched. Wow, that was a million years ago. Yeah, it's scary what's happening. And it's like, there's, no matter how you slice it, we are doing the bidding, or at absolute minimum, we are fulfilling the wildest fucking fantasies of the Kremlin. This is what they wanted. They wanted a divided Europe. They wanted a fractured NATO. They want the mineral rights to Ukraine, and they wanted disarmed Ukraine. Everybody keeps talking about, well, I mean, people on the other side of the political divide are talking about, oh, the Ukraine, they're terrible, and they're this and they're that, and there's no way they can win. They've been holding their own for 3 years against a much more powerful enemy that invaded their country. Even if they collapse tomorrow, which obviously I hope they don't, um, they put up one hell of a fight. The world is a fucking mess. And I don't recognize fucking any of it anymore. Mostly us. I don't recognize the US. This is not the country that I served. Definitely not the country I grew up in. But here we are. Peach posted something on Facebook the other day. She said it's gotten to the point where all scrolling is doom scrolling. And yeah, I mean, I get that, you know, I get it. That's sad. And it's hard to be on social media. It's hard to watch the news. I actually don't watch much as far as news goes anymore. I don't watch a lot of TV anymore. I've been playing recently Civilization 6 again. I can't afford to buy 7, but I want it. So if anybody has Steam and you want to buy Civilization 7 and gift it to me, that would be amazing. My birthday is coming up. Fuck it, do it. You won't have to twist my arm to take it. Um, let's see. What else? I don't know. Just 2 people watching now. Hello, 2 people. Whoever you are, I don't know who you are. But hello. What else? I sent an invite to co-host to Serious Mind, Joe. I on the off chance he was free, I assume he's working. Um, I mean, he's self-employed, and maybe he has time, maybe he doesn't. I don't know. But I sent it on the off chance he'd be able to make it. I figured it'd be cool to have him in here. We haven't spoken in this way in a while. Mostly it's just text on Facebook lately. But it would be good to have him on. I miss him. I miss Michael too, Agent of Doubt. And I may actually stream again later on tonight after the boys go to bed, which means it would be after 9 Eastern time. And I may do that. And again, if I do it tonight again, it'll only be for maybe an hour or so because I do have to work in the morning. So for the bulk of the bulk of it, wait, I'm going to do some quick math. I guess for the bulk of my YouTube existence, I was unemployed. I lost my job at Staples where I was a manager. I lost my job there on Obama's inauguration day, and I was unemployed through his entire presidency. Um, I mean, that's a little unfair. I opened a business. I had the Flying Monkey Deli, which I would stream from there sometimes. We've actually even had a meetup, a little miniature convention um, at the restaurant. It was fun. It was cool. I miss actually having the deli, but I didn't really make any money. Um, Made a lot of food, put on a lot of weight, and I had a good time, but I didn't really make any money. Um, but so I did that for a little while, and you know, now I am working at a school. I'm actually working with special needs kids at a high school. Um, I'm an aide, a one-on-one aide, so it's pretty cool. Helping kids out, it's fulfilling. Um, I was concerned about working in that kind of an environment, being that I'm trans. Hey, what's up, Chris Powell? So I was concerned about that, but I've made friends. Everything there is great. The biggest thing that I worry about these days is what Donald Trump might do. But yeah, so it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. And what else to talk about? Peach and I have some plans. Um, I mean, I've already talked about it. I didn't get into a lot of details. I talked about it a little bit on the goddamn podcast one night. Because I was guest hosting again there a one night thing about 2 or 3 weeks ago. 3 weeks ago? Yeah, I guess about that. Maybe a little bit, maybe longer. I don't know. Whatever. About a month ago. Um, so, and that was cool. I was on probably for maybe 2 hours. I don't even think it was that long, but maybe. And we talked a little bit about what Peach and I are talking about doing. So the plan is to sell this palace that we have here. Sell everything, sell the TVs, the furniture, sell everything, and buy an RV, take the kids out of school, and see the country before it all collapses. Homeschool the kids, see the Grand Canyon, go to Disney, um, boondock out in the Arizona desert, um, travel, see everything, and if the shit hits the fan, we could just drive over the border. I just got to make sure I have all of my paperwork and everything. Which is, yeah, I mean, that's one of the things that we wanted to do. But Trump has the national parks down to a skeleton crew. And I think they're not going to open this summer. I don't know if anything has changed, but the last I heard is they won't be opening, which is a shame. Because, I mean, I believe his plan is to sell them off, um, which means they won't be national parks much longer, possibly. But yeah, I want to be able to see them while I can, especially to go with the boys. So it sucks. It's rough, but that's our plan. That's our plan. Um, we if we did that, we would drive away from here. Replaced by Starbucks. If we did that, we would drive away from here with more money in our pockets than we've ever had. Um, we would have our home on wheels, and Peach would work remote, so she'll continue, getting paid, and it would be enough to live on. So whatever we make from the sale of the house, most of that would just be stuff, something we can put away. And if we decide in a year, 2 years, whatever, that we're done traveling, um, and we haven't like ran away to Mexico or Canada, and then we could put that money down on another house. Um, that's the plan. If it will end up happening or not, I don't know. I would like it to. Peach would like it to. It's just that there's so many moving pieces that all have to line up in order to make it work. And I'm hopeful. We've already started getting rid of some stuff. When you have a house, you just start collecting shit. Like there's all this stuff on the walls, and most of that stuff is just like family pictures and stuff. But like there's tons of that kind of stuff. I've got a garage full of couches. It's all garbage. It's all got to go. When you have two little boys, they destroy couches. We got a garage full of them. So it does sound exciting. It sounds exciting. It sounds different. A lot of memories. It's a way to make a lot of memories. Peach and I and the boys. Um, they can learn a lot just from living. You know what I mean? Just experiencing the world around them, and that's kind of what the hope is. I mean, and then there's homeschooling like programs online that's designed for nomads, and they even have secular lessons because a lot of the homeschooling programs, when you start looking into it, a lot of them are religion based. A lot of them are really like like Jesus founded America, which would explain one of the reasons why the country's so fucked up. But if you look, there's other stuff out there, and we found, nomadic road schooling programs that are secular. And it's just like, yes, that's what I want, because I can use that. I can teach the kids with that. And I mean, before I was working at the high school, I was working with little kids at a Montessori school. So I've done some of it already. Like, am I a teacher? No. But have I done teaching professionally? Not under the name of teacher, but as a classroom aide. I've taught kids how to read. I've worked on them with them on their mathematics. I can do this. I can do it. So I'm excited. But like I said, a lot of moving pieces all have to line up. So we're working on it. And I got a friend who's going to come over one of these days to help clean out some of the crap. I got two different guys with dump trailers that want to or said they're willing to help me out, give me good prices on getting rid of some of the big stuff. So I guess distance learning is easier now. Well, yeah. I mean, you don't have to be tied to a classroom. The interwebs took care of that. The world is your classroom. I figure, we can do school X number of days a week, and then there's travel days. So let's say Monday is a school day. So what we would do is Sunday we would find some place where we'll camp. Basically, we'll park and we'll hook up to water and electric and all that kind of stuff. And then Monday, we can just spend the day, like the morning maybe, having breakfast and then doing some school, and then going out and seeing what's out there. What national parks are we near? What attractions can we see? What can I show the boys that they wouldn't see normally? And Peach will be working. And then maybe Tuesday or Wednesday might be a travel day. So she could still work, because most of her job is remote. But we'll be driving and we'll be heading to wherever the next stop is. So there's a network of places of campsites. And another one is it's a place called, or an organization called Thousand Trails. And you could just, you pay a fee, a monthly fee, and you can stay at any of their campsites basically for free. I mean, you're just paying, you paid your membership fee, you can stay there for free. And then there's a Harvest Host. There's another one where you pay your fee, and there's these wineries and stuff that are scattered across the country where you can park in there and use their facilities and stuff. And you've already paid for it because you paid your fee. They just ask that when you're there, you make a purchase. So a lot of it is wineries. So I was just like, yeah, we could do that. You could park at a place for the night and, have a glass of wine and, put on the music and relax. And then the next morning we can just drive off again. Yeah, right? There's a lot out there. And it turns out, which I had no idea, is there's this huge community of nomads. And there's a lot of people who drive what they call schoolies. That's what was our original plan, was to get a school bus and convert it into basically a tiny home on wheels. And we still want to do that. The problem with it is they're difficult to insure. And when you got two little kids, you want to make sure that, your insurance is good. You want to make sure everything is good. So we figured it'd be better just to get an RV, because there's no question about the insurance on that. It's an RV. Insurance companies insure them. Buses, it's hit or miss, or sometimes you have to lie. And if you have to lie to get your insurance, and then you need the insurance and they find out you lied, you're kind of screwed. Nobody wants that nonsense. So we're going to get an RV and we're going to name it. And we've already named it. We've chosen a name for whether it's a school bus or an RV. It doesn't matter. The name that we've chosen is HR Bus and Stuff. So that'll be the name of our home once we drive away. HR Bus and Stuff. I've actually set up a YouTube channel for it already too, so that once we're out and about, we'll be documenting a lot of it. Not so much like a family blog channel. A lot of those things are really cringy, but more like not so much a family blog, but more of like an adventure blog with Peach and I. And the boys are the Sippy Cup Mafia that's just kind of coming with us. Is it from a show? Yeah, kind of. When I was a kid, a little bit more than kind of. When I was a kid, when I was little, there was like a puppet show for kids. It was called HR Puff and Stuff. So we just traded the puff for a bus. So HR Puff and Stuff. Puff and Stuff was like a big, weird looking dragon, in like the late 60s, early 70s. I think it was like 1970, 1971, something like that. It was really, really, it was terrible. But it only was on for like 2 seasons, I think. And it was terrible, but it was so terrible that it was good. And it was so good that it became like this famous thing that still exists in like the zeitgeist. People have heard of HR Puff and Stuff. It's a whole thing. I even think there was they came out with a new one with a puppy that looked like the dragon, and I think it's Pup and Stuff. I think that's what it's called, HR Pup and Stuff. But yeah. But the old show is HR Puff and Stuff, and so that's what we named it after. And yeah, brilliant. Thank you. It's actually, I can't take credit for it though. It was Peach. Peach totally came up with the name, and she was just like, I don't want to say. You'll think it's stupid, and you won't like it. I'm like, not at all. And then she said it, and I was like, oh my God, that's brilliant. I love it. Yes. Because there's all these, go on YouTube and check it out. There's all of these like van life people, all of these like nomads, schoolie drivers, RV drivers. They name their rig. They name them, and it's like that's pretty cool. So I mean, I was racking my brain trying to come up with a good name, and Peach comes out with HR Bus and Stuff, and I was like, I love it. I love it because I was like, actually, it works because HR is home and recreation, right? Bus and all of our stuff. It's HR Bus and Stuff. Yeah. So it'll be fun. It'll be fun. At least I hope so. Anyway. I don't know. It's neat. Oh my God, there is a girl. No, there's a girl with a schoolie in the UK. She's really pretty, and her bus is very like woodsy. She calls it cottagecore. Um, it's such a cute bus, so cute. And she drives all over the UK, no matter the weather. She's up in the snow, up in the mountain. It's absolutely beautiful on her bus, and she like did it all herself. Um, I can't remember the name of her channel, but yeah, she's like puts out lots of videos about her adventures. Um, there's a few of them from the UK. That's pretty cool. There's there's a lot more of that stuff in the States. There's just more people and there's more space. Like every January, they get together out in Arizona, out in the desert for an event every January called Schoolie Palooza. And it's all schoolies and RVs and stuff. It's mostly schoolies, I think, but yeah, we plan on attending that once we're on the road. So I think our first stop, depending on when we leave, our first stop is going to be Disney, though. Because Disney is just so fucking expensive. You can't just like, oh, let's go to Disney. It doesn't work that way. It's just so expensive. You have to take like fucking years to plan out a Disney vacation. And that sucks. So once the house sells and we'll have the money to do it, we're just going to go and we're going to spend a week um, doing all the amusement parks in Florida. And then from there, we'll like basically, depending on the time of year, we'll pick a direction. Like we live right now, we're on the East Coast, we're in the Northeast, and the fall here is absolutely beautiful. Like the summers where I live, in New Jersey, um, the summers are fucking hot. Um, hot. It's and they're getting hotter. Hot summers. The winters are absolutely brutally cold. Um, Fucking bone chilling cold. Um, Spring is wet and muddy and alternates between hot and cold. But autumn is absolutely beautiful here. Um, the leaves are red and yellow and gold and absolutely beautiful. And the temps are like in the 70s and 60s. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. And you can do stuff outside and you can enjoy the outdoors, and just the scenery is beautiful. So like September and into October up to Halloween. After Halloween, it gets fucking cold. Actually, around Halloween, it gets cold. So both of the boys, their birthdays are both in September. So we're just like, we'll travel the whole country for the year, but every September we'll come back. We'll come home. Um, See the doctors that I would need to see every. I already talked to my doctor, and I could see her once a year in person, and the rest of the year we could do a virtual visit. I'm like, yes. So yeah, that would be in the fall. We come back and we see my mom and my siblings and family and stuff, and we'll celebrate the boys' birthdays here. We'll do Halloween here. Because there are areas around by my mom's house where Halloween is like it is on TV. You know, you've got it's dark and the leaves are all falling, and it's really beautiful, and there's a million kids in costumes and stuff. Um, so it would be good, I think, for the boys to experience that. And so we'll save for Halloween, and depending on the weather, maybe stay as late as Thanksgiving. Probably not. My oldest son, his birthday is in the beginning of November, so we would stay for his birthday, and then we would get the fuck out. Just get the fuck out. We would head south. So it's like depending. So first thing would be Disney, and then possibly back here, and then we would head south again. And most likely, what we would do is head south towards Florida, and then just skip across the southern U.S., staying where the sun is, um, and then heading out and doing Southern California, and Southern Texas and New Mexico and Arizona and all that through the winter. Doing Arizona, doing Schoolie Palooza in January, and then head up in the spring. Start heading up the West Coast, cross the border into Canada, and drive up to Alaska so we can get there by like March, so we could see the Northern Lights. Because it's really the best way to do it, because it'll still be dark in Alaska, because Alaska has long, the winter is constantly nighttime, right? So spring, they won't have that anymore, right? They'll start getting longer days, but it'll still be enough night that you can go up there and really get a good look at the Northern Lights. And then come back down into the mainland states, and zip across the northern states for the summer, and by fall roll back into New Jersey for fall. That's so you could take an entire year, go all the way around the country, and like see the Northern Lights and do all that stuff, and you could do that and miss most of the really cold weather. Like it is possible to do. because I hate winter. I am done with winter. I only want to go to Alaska once to see the Northern Lights, and I never want to do it again because I absolutely hate the cold. Um, but yeah, I mean, it is possible. It's possible to travel a country in such a way that you never have to deal with winter. So that would be the plan, you know. And while we're like California, while we're out in California, maybe we'll go to like the Baja California, maybe, or um, maybe we'll do Disney out there. And we'll check out all of the things are in Southern California. We'll check out San Francisco. There's a lot. There's a lot of we have both of us. We have like friends and family scattered all over the country, and we can stop and see all those people too. Um, there's national parks. There is the trails. There's all kinds of stuff out there. Route 66. We'll do all that. Um, and in the meantime, be teaching the boys while we're on the road. They'll be having their school, and Peach will be working, and I'll be driving. um, yeah, we could do that. I mean, it's an actual thing that could work. Um, and I don't know if Trump was not elected. I don't know if we would be thinking about doing it. There's this real sense of, you said you're in the UK, right? So it's, I don't know how much of the vibe you get from the States, but there is this real sense of impending doom here. And I don't give a shit what anybody says. Everyone here feels it. It's just some people are rooting for it. Some people look at the impending doom as a cleansing kind of a thing. Um, I think they're fucking crazy, but that's kind of the way that it's flowing right now. So there are some people that are cheering it on, and some of us are wondering how we're going to survive. So, I've joked for years about when things like are looking bad for whatever reason, right? The stock market crashes, or it's just a really tough employment market, or whatever. I mean, there are things that happen all the time, every day, all year long for years and years and years. There are things that just happen as part of life. And I would always chalk stuff up to, this is life in a dying empire. But it's not a joke anymore. The empire, and it is an empire, is dying. I mean, Trump and Musk, all they're doing now is just twisting the knife. And it's scary. It's scary. You know. I don't think the country will stop existing, but once the US is no longer a world power, what happens then? That's what I worry about. What's left over of the shell? Yeah. And I'm not one of those people that thinks that the US needs to be like the indispensable nation. Like, I mean, the US has been described as the indispensable nation. I mean, and the reasons for that are obvious. Um, but I don't think we need to be. And I'm okay if we're not. And I don't think we need to be the police for the world. And I'm okay if we're not. And I don't think we need to do any of that to have a healthy, happy, productive society where people are happy. Because here's the thing. For the last several years, we've had all that stuff and we weren't happy. You know what I mean? So I kind of get the idea that, it's like a cleansing. The country maybe needed a cleanse, but not like this. Because this people are going to get hurt. People will die. Yeah. No, I do not know. So, like I said at the beginning, there's not a whole lot going on in the world. Yeah, Chris, exactly. I mean, it's not what it's supposed to be. Um, so many of the U.S.'s world problems we created decades ago. The problems in the Middle East, right? We did that shit. We messed all that up years ago. That's our fault. So, like any shit we get from that, that's just blowback from what we did. We deserve that. All of the governments that were destabilized in South America, where people are fleeing and are heading for the border. We did that. It's just like, we have American citizens going, we're going to build a wall. Those people are only coming here because we fucked up their countries. Um, I'm not saying that means we open the door and let them all in, but it means we have a responsibility to try to fix it. No? I mean, like if you break something, you buy it. No? I mean, isn't that the way shit works? That's the way I was always told shit worked. Um, I mean, you can't break somebody's country and then be like, oh, how did that happen? Oh, my goodness. Look at that. No. No, you broke it. You bought it. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. So, yeah, I was like, people in the Midwest, when they have water coming out of their faucets that they can take a lighter to and light it, and their water is flaming. You know, we did that shit. We fucked up the environment. We fucked up the water and the land. We fucked it up. Just from fracking and shit. Um, we need to fix that. We can't be like just pretending that there's no problem. The thing about water is you need to fucking drink it. If you didn't need to drink water, whatever. But no, you need to drink it. Water is important. It has electrolytes. Oh, fuck. Plants love it. Fuck. Fucking crazy. Fucking crazy. Sorry. Just reading comments on a picture I posted. Sorry. You're like looking at me looking at something else. That's entertainment for you. That's all you get for $1. uh, I was reading the comments because I am so vain and I am self-centered and narcissistic. I posted a picture and then I wanted to see what everybody was saying. Somebody was just like, "Oh, you look beautiful these days," and I'm like, "These days, bitch." Maybe in these days. Oh man, I'm getting old though. I'm getting all this. Look at all this. Look. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much. I got jowls like Paula Dean. Isn't that her name? Yeah, that was her name. Paula Dean. Mm. I don't know. It took me forever, like years, to get my hair to a place that I like it. And now I want to change it. I won't. Um, Peach will still be working because she works remote, so she'll have her job doing that. I will be driving and I will be homeschooling the kids. So I'm not expecting to make anything. Although I have thought about starting a business. There's actually two different things that we talked about. One is, I don't know if you've ever seen them, but I buy like top hats, or like the costume type top hats, not like a really expensive one, just like they sell at like this Spirit Halloween stores. And then I decorate them, flowers, roses. There's one I did like cobwebs and made like a Halloween, witch. I call them like witch hats. Um, and they're nice. And I thought about, like, while out on the road, starting a business making and selling those. And we're doing craft shows and that kind of stuff because there's always scattered across the country. You always run into craft fairs and shows and makers markets and that kind of thing. So I thought about doing that. Um, and another thing that we talked about is I make this chicken salad. When I had the deli, I came up with this recipe for chicken salad that was a big hit. And the deli has been closed since 2016. 2017 technically. Has been closed since 2017, and I still have people asking me to make chicken salad. So we talked a little bit about maybe I can do that. You know, um, Maybe there's like every now and then we go into a town or whatever. Can find a kitchen that we can rent space or time in. A lot of restaurants, when they have downtime, they'll rent out kitchen space, and I can make chicken salad and sell that. Um, the hats seems like something that's a bit easier to do, and would have more of a. Um, it's logistically more possible. But we thought about doing those things, and also I'm hoping that the channel, the YouTube channel, the HR Bus and Stuff channel, um, maybe I'll start making money through Patreon, that kind of a thing. I don't think so because I currently have a Patreon. I don't make anything on. Actually, I think if I remember correctly, my um, Patreon is bringing in roughly $0. So, um, and I mean, I get it. I mean, I've had the Patreon for years, and I used to make a little bit of money, not much. I make $25, $30 maybe a month through Patreon. But I stopped making content, so people stopped paying me. Which, duh, you know. Um, you don't get something for nothing. That's just the way it works. I don't put out content. I don't get paid. Fine, that's fair. Um, but I thought about it, and I thought about, like, once we're on the road, when I'm not driving and when I'm not homeschooling the boys, I'll have time to edit videos. And I mean, I back in the day, I used to really enjoy editing my videos. Um, I don't enjoy it as much as I used to. I don't know if it became just too tedious. Um, but I mean, if I'm getting paid, I'll do it. So, you know, you know, money has a way of changing how you look at things. But yeah, we'll see. We'll see. I don't think I'll be turning tricks. Kind of miss the atheist community. I do too. Um, I don't. I'm not sure what it is about it that I missed, though. You know, like, I don't know. Dark Matter still puts out videos. I enjoy his videos. I don't watch a lot of the. I mean, I don't know. It's just like there's so much ground that has just been trampled on over and over and over and over again, and it just kind of feels like why are we still doing this, or why is this conversation still going on, why are we still talking about this? And I mean, on some things it's like I know why we're doing it, because you have to keep doing it. But yeah, it was full of energy. YouTube was a fairly new space. um the way we were having these conversations was new. It was new, and there was a lot of passion, there was a lot of energy, and there was a lot of thought. I made some really good friends. It was good. It was good. I mean, I don't know, you know, don't know if I could ever like be part of the atheist community again. Um, as far as like video making, I don't know how much is out there. I know there is some, but it's not like what it was. I don't know if I could go like get back into that space. I don't know. A lot of it just seems like really. Um, I don't know if I could get into like the trans community on YouTube. There's a lot of hate in that community going in all different directions. There's a lot of drama in the trans community. There's a lot of hate. Blair White feeds a lot of misinformation. She feeds a lot of hate. She makes some really good points on some things too. And it's hard to like be like, hey, Blair White made this great point, when so much of what she does is just so full of hate. Um, so it's rough. It's really rough. Like, if I could be a part of that, one of those communities, that would be good. But I don't know. It's just there's not a lot there. And a lot of the like LGBT creators, like I'm a lefty. I've never been, like, oh, I'm not a left. I'm a lefty. I've always been on the left. Um, uh, oh, I don't know how moving I was. Phil Hellenes, he was moving. Not me. Um, you know, um, I'm a lefty, but I'm not like, oh, if you disagree with me, you must be a racist, bigot, transphobic. Like there was a conversation way back, and I don't remember exactly who started it. I think it might have been um, ZJMTV. Um, but one of the things that she said, which I agree with, but I think a lot of people misunderstood, or I misunderstood, and I hope I didn't, but um, was that if you're not going to date a trans person, you are transphobic. And then people are like, "Oh, I don't want why I have to date somebody." I don't think that was what it was about. Like I was always like, "No, no, no, no." I think people are misunderstanding. If you can say without ever meeting a trans person that you would never, ever, ever date a trans person, well, then you're transphobic. Because how do you know you would be willing to date somebody before you meet them? Like if you're good, that's the same as saying I will never date an Eskimo. I will never date a black person. I will never date somebody with green eyes. Um, have you, do you know people like that? Do you know what I mean? Like if you were going to say no to an entire category of person based on that category alone without ever knowing anything else about them, that's a problem. Problematic. There's the word problematic. Um, but I don't think people really put forward the argument defending what she said in any way. Yeah, you mean yeah, yeah, that's what I mean. Yeah, I don't think anybody put out that argument in a way that was not confrontational. Like, if you're going to make everything confrontational, then everyone you talk to is going to want to have a confrontation. You know, it's like if your only solution is a hammer, then everything is a nail. I mean, it's kind of the same thing, you know? Maybe I'm just too high-minded. I don't know. And I don't want to police other people's identities or their sexualities or their genders. But I think there are some people that are just like, they do things and they say things to be edgy. And like, you know, there was a user on YouTube, a content provider, great big beard, very, very masculine energy, very masculine speaking, very manly. And they put pink bows in their beard and proclaimed that they were trans and they wanted to be referred to as she. And I had a hard time with that. Hey man, somebody wants, you want me to call you she, I'll call you she. I mean, I get it. Like I believe me, I get it. But if I don't feel that coming from you, you know what I mean? So much of our personal interactions are not spoken, or there's so much that goes on between people where it's just vibes, if you know what I mean. You know, like you can feel when somebody is off. You can feel it. And if I'm not feeling anything feminine from you, I guess subtext. If I'm not feeling anything feminine from you, I'm gonna have a hard time with the she and the hers and if I'm not feeling anything masculine from you, I'm gonna have a hard time with the he's. Um, but if I don't feel it, but you still want me to do it, I will try. Like I don't get upset when people misgender me. I mean, not really. Like I get okay. So I looked like this, you know, cute. I was all done up, you know, and I was at the store, and I used the rewards, which was in my old name, and the cashier said, "Thank you, sir." And I went, "Really, really? Is this confusing?" You know. Um, she was like, "Oh, I just went by the name," but still, really, I don't know. Like I said, I don't want to police somebody's gender. It's just so when you have somebody with a beard and masculine energy in a public place yelling at some, most likely a kid, behind a register, you know, call me miss. It's like, no, miss me with that. You need to relax. Be yelling at people like that making minimum wage. They don't get paid for that shit. I mean, come on. You know, everything is give and take. Fucking everything is give and take. And Blair White, as much as she disgusts the fuck out of me, she does talk a lot about that kind of a thing where it's just like, really? This is what you're doing in a public place to this minimum wage worker who just wants to get through their fucking day, and they called you sir or ma'am inappropriately, whichever it was. So now you gotta like burn the place down over it? Really? Come on. She just isn't as polite about it as I am. She a bitch. She a bitch. Whatever. Whatever. I don't like the idea. Like I said, I'll struggle with some people that say that they're trans. You know, I'm not sure what lady that is. Is that the one that was yelling, call me ma'am or something like that? Real tall? Was that the GameStop one? Was that one of the viral video? I don't know. I'm assuming that's what the. It's ma'am. Yeah. Yeah. Well, I mean, I would assume she had to be. Like, people don't normally just pop like that. She ain't a pimple. I mean, you know, I would hope. Seriously, my assumption would be that she was already pretty fucking stressed from something because that reaction was overkill. The problem is that that reaction is what's on camera. That's what got shared. So all of us are judged by that. Well, that sucks. I don't want to be judged by that. But like, it's hard. It's it is just so fucking hard. I feel for both her and staff. Same, same. There's this other one. Oh my god. Oh my god. She very masculine energy, very masculine looking. And I know there's only so much, believe me, I know there's only so much you can do about that. I've had no surgery on my face, and I wish I did because I, yeah, when I get rid of I got my man belly I need to get rid of. Anyway, um, there's only so much you can do about that. I get it. I get it. But there are some that don't even try. And I get the idea of, you know what? I don't owe you, I don't owe you feminine, fem, ooh, I don't owe you feminine stuff. Right? I get that. I feel that. Like there are days I wake up and I'm like, I ain't shaving. Nope. Because I don't owe you attractiveness. Yeah, I just give it. Oh shit. But I don't owe it. So I get it. But at the same time, you live in a society that has norms. And whether those norms are fair or whether those norms need to change or not are kind of beside the point. You know what I mean? It's like you still live in that society. And as much as I agree with I don't owe you beauty or I don't owe you femininity or I don't owe that to you, as much as I agree with that, I also understand I live in a society that is going to judge me and my actions and lack of action and reactions and whatever are going to have consequences. They will be judged and they will have consequences. And it may affect my employment. It may affect, my ability to move through life in the town that I live in. And I mean, it matters. It matters. You can't just spend your entire life saying, fuck all of your norms and everything you've been taught for a million years is the way things should be. Fuck all of that. You need to make room for me, like it or not. That's not going to jive well. I don't want to be like also respectability politics either, though. You need to upset the apple cart. It just seems like the trans community in general has not done a very good job of upsetting the right apple carts. Does that make sense? I don't know. It's kind of like, well, that was the wrong cart. Um, it's hard. It's hard. It's hard to get a handle on it. It's hard to make sense of it. I hope you're saying more because I do have to leave in a few minutes. My little guys are getting off the bus, so I got to go. So if you're typing, hurry up. And if you're not typing, let me know you're not typing. But I do, if you have more to say, I do want to know what it is. Oh, oh yeah. Oh, I believe it. Absolutely, I believe it. Um, and again, I think it probably holds true. I probably holds true for you also, as far as like, you have to move through society. And, upsetting apple carts may need to happen, but it's got to be the right ones. And screaming, and that poor woman screaming at the poor staff members at GameStop, that was not the apple cart that needed to be upset. That did more harm for all of us than good. But all right, I do have to shut it down. This was fun. I did a lot more talking than I thought I would do. Because yeah, I got to go. His bus will be here in about 5 minutes, so I got to go. Bye. For everyone who did watch, thank you for coming and watching. Um, I might go on again later. I don't know. I haven't decided, but when I do, I'll see you then. Bye.